All right. What's up, anybody? Anybody that's here, I appreciate anybody that has, decided to join. If you guys could, make sure you check out the link in the chat as well as hit the like button as soon as you get in here. It does help out. Nice shades. Um, this is the reason why I'm wearing the Meta Oakleys, which I like these glasses. Erica just got me these glasses maybe like a couple of days ago. Um, is because they apparently just came out with newer Oakleys, the Vanguard Oakleys that are more my style of Oakleys, not really for like running, but just playing sports. I like the lighter versions of them, and honestly, all the different stuff that they came out with is pretty cool. I would like to try them first to see how light they are because they do look like they might be heavy, just based on the size of them. So, but we'll have to see, but they look really really cool. So I want to kind of get use out of these a lot more so that I can kind of justify making that purchase. um, but I love Oakleys. Like, I have a lot. I have a pair that I can't even find that are probably my favorite pair, and I'm very upset that I either lost them or just misplaced them. I know I have them. I took them to California and then brought them back. I know I brought them back because I had them on the plane. I had them in the airport, and the only thing I could explain is if they're still in Erica's car. So I know they're not in my old Tesla. So yeah, I know they're not in there because I cleaned everything out. So I know for sure that they're not in there. However, there's still like a maybe a 1% chance that that could be the case. Let me go back here, and there we go. Now we can put that in the chat, and then we'll put this in this chat as well. I'm in a streaming session. Let me refresh this. We'll pin that, and we'll go to Twitch. Let me refresh, and we'll send that, and we'll also pin it. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. I want to talk about what's going on in the market here today, because the market looks pretty pretty good, right? It's not the best market we've ever seen, but seeing the market at, instead of a just four flat, like $4 trillion market cap, we're talking about a 4.1 trillion-dollar market cap. So making waves, right? Making a move, and you may look at it and go 4.1 trillion. That's not really a big move. That's $100 billion worth of a move, if not more than that, because we were below a $4 trillion market cap. Bitcoin is at 117. It is up by 0.5%. We have Ethereum that's up to $4,600. XRP that's at $3.10, or 2%, almost 3% up for the last 24 hours. BNB has been a great mover, right? It's currently sitting at number 5 by market cap. When you take out Tether, it's number 4, and then you have Solana at number 5. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, and Solana. Great to see the movement in BNB. I know a lot of people were asking, or not asking, they were telling me when I was talking about BNB in the past, yeah, BNB is dead. It's just not going to get to these levels. It's not going to get to $1,000. There's always doubters in every position that you're in, right? It's not just the positions that you talk about that are outside of the top 100 or outside of the top 25. It's also the ones that are in the top 5, right? The ones that are the most successful and have shown that success. A lot of people tend to doubt it, and and mainly, let's be honest, mainly the doubt came from the fact of the lawsuit, and CZ stepping down and then having to pay $4 billion, like all of that doubt. That's where it came from, where it's like Binance is going to fail. right? And to be honest, B&B doesn't really depend on Binance themselves, right? However, it is something that is independently drawn, right? But still, you have that influence when people consider, or when they consider buying B&B, they think of Binance, right? And they think of the different connections that it does have, whether it's the burns or whatever they're doing with B&B at the time. Um, so when I say, oh, it's at $190 or whatever, it has the potential to go a lot further. And I say it's going to get to $1,000. It's going to be worth probably multiple thousands of dollars at a later date. It's great to see it at $997 as of today. And I'm pretty sure from what I saw from crypto.com is that it reached $1,000. So yes, the all-time high was set today. So September 18th, 2025, an hour ago, $1,005.29. That is phenomenal to see. I have my BNB. My BNB is staked in my Forever wallet. I also have a little bit of BNB outside of that, but I don't plan on really touching that BNB. Now the Solana, I'm not sure about that, because as we hit higher and higher levels, it's always great to take some profit as you move along, especially if you're up 59 or 60% on that Solana that's there. Now I have a total of about 50 Solana. I would have liked to have had more because um, I was looking at it when it was around $11. I talked about Solana being worth so much more, and again, you have those doubters that said no, Solana's dead. We're not seeing that level of hype. It's currently worth $11 for good reason, right? It went from $250 down to $11. And my thought process was that that's not the case. That Solana is going to survive this, and we're going to see a lot more success, and you're going to be mad for not making that move. Now, while I was talking about that, I couldn't invest into it myself. I can only invest a very small amount because I had barely any money at that time, right? Any free money, I would definitely say, especially as the market is hitting low lows. It's very difficult for me to make those moves. Right now, I can make any moves I really want to. Then, couldn't make those moves. So I was a little upset. Other people did see that opportunity and bought hundreds of Solana. And those people are insanely happy right now because of where Solana is. Um, Same thing goes for BNB when I talked about that at low levels. So that goes to show, don't let any of the doubters, any of the non-believers talk you out of investing into a play that you love, investing into a play that you think is going to be massive, because your investment style is your investment style for a reason. And don't let anyone bring their investment style to completely dictate what you do and change, what you do with your investment style. So I've grown to learn that very, very quickly, like super quickly. Volume up, please. It says that my volume is basically very, very close to the max. I'm not gonna go any higher than that. If you guys want to have the volume up, feel free to just turn your volume up. But we got 72 people that are here. I would be grateful, and I'm grateful that you're even here. But I would be even more grateful if you guys could hit the like button. I would like to get to about 30 likes. Half the concurrent viewers is always great. We're currently at 12 likes. Also, I don't know if I said it, but the winners for, let me see, let me go back. The winners for the giveaway should have received their $500 USDT. So the winners include these ID numbers. So if you are these ID numbers, or if you have signed up for, BTCC, deposited, and made a trade within the time frame of September 2nd to September 16th, you were eligible for this giveaway. But here are the winners by ID number. Maybe you don't know your ID number, but if you did, go and check it. It's F2N42R. You have the second one, that's F2B5JD, FJVABD. So if you are any of those ID numbers or you don't know your ID numbers and you can go and check because you could potentially have won $500, 500 USDT to trade with, to do whatever you want with, to withdraw it to whatever, right? And that's phenomenal that BTCC did that. So congratulations to those winners. And hopefully in the next giveaway, you guys can get involved and be a part of that. Because if I look at my numbers, let me see how many people actually became um, members during that time, or not members, but um, started using the platform. So I want to go here and I want to go to. I don't know. I really want those meta Oakley Vanguard. I really want those, but I don't want. I just spent money on these, and I feel like the AI is great. The design is great. Obviously, I like them. And the other ones are more for running. So I think I can always have a different style of Meta Ray Bans to wear. Um, whether it could be the Meta Ray Bans, it could be the Meta Oakleys, it could be the Meta Oakley Vanguard, um, and all of that. So yeah, and I have right now I have three pairs. I have two generations of Meta Ray Ban and one of the Oakley, and I would like the other Oakleys as well. And as they get lighter and lighter, I would love to continue to get those. But anyways, I was looking at the affiliates to see how many people did sign up. Hopefully, they can easily log me in. Ah, man, it's not gonna easily log me in. I have to log in myself. Sometimes it just automatically logs me in, and then you know I'll be good. But in this case, it's not automatically logging me in, so I don't know if this is the right password. It's not the right thing. Um, Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. We should be live for about an hour and a half, I would say. All right, now we're in. So for the last 7 days, just know the last month, right? Entire month, we've had 30 people that registered. We had 10 people that made a deposit and 7 people that made a first trade. Um, with that being said, that means that out of those 7 people, you had three of those people that won a $500 USDT giveaway. That is phenomenal odds. And if I was an outside user, I would take that 1000% of the time. So, congratulations to the winners. I'm happy for you guys. I'm glad you were able to make some money out of that and be able to have investing funds. Guys, we have 85 people here. Continue to hit that like button. Get me up to about 40 likes about right now. I would think that would be great. Um, but anyways, to get back into what's going on in the market, BNB is hovering around that $1,000 mark, $997. Solana is at about $250 or a $133 billion market cap. We didn't have this many cryptocurrencies up at these levels, right? And understand that we're going to see more as we get further and further into altcoin season. Seeing BNB or Ethereum up at a $550 billion market cap should be worth $1 trillion. XRP at a $200 billion market cap, that should also be worth $1 trillion. Looking at BNB, I think that should be worth 200 to $300 billion. Solana should be worth 200 to $500 billion. I think Dogecoin definitely will be worth a lot more as you see the ETF, as you see more use cases for a meme coin, which is crazy, that come on for Dogecoin and more long-standing growth with it. It's the leader of all meme coins and could be something of a major mover in a utility bull run, which is crazy. But you have other things that actually have the utility backing that should be worth a lot more. Cardano should be up in the 100 to 200 billion dollar range. Looking at Tron, also up in that 100 billion dollar range. Chainlink should be in the 100 billion dollar range. AVAX should be up there as well. So as you see things that move along, and as you get past the things that are in the top five, you start looking at the trickle down effect. You start looking at money that's flowing into many other projects and many other things. And that's where you see a lot of that movement, because the drop off is crazy from Solana at 133 all the way down to Dogecoin at 42. That's basically, and I'm going to round up, that's basically a $100 billion difference between the two. The gap is large. It's like when you're playing golf and you have two clubs that have a 20-yard gap. It's like, that's insane to have a 20-yard gap. Now you have to swing the club either super hard, that's at the lower end, or you have to swing the club soft with the higher end iron or whatever, right? So if you have anything more than a 20-yard gap, just to let you know, it's very difficult when you get within that distance. And for me, that gap is between a pitching wedge and a 9-iron, right? My 9-iron goes 145 yards. My pitching wedge can go 120, right? I've had it go 140, but in most cases 120. So you're looking at a 25-yard gap. So that's usually a difficult distance for me. Same thing goes for my 52 to my pitching wedge, but still, that gap right there needs to be filled. Let's say that. All right, let's get into the chat. Let's see what people are saying right now as we look at the market being at a $4.1 trillion market cap. Why XRP doing shit? Why isn't XRP doing anything? I mean, it's up by 3%. I'm not going to complain about that. I think it will continue to rise. I think it will continue to be worth a lot more. It's just there is a lot of conversation around other things. And still, that conversation being around Bitcoin shows that we're not there yet when it comes to altcoin season. BNB milestone price $1,000. I know, hitting that level was amazing. Ola, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. A zero, start pumping. Hopefully, you're talking about dropping a zero for Terra Luna Classic. XDC on sale. I haven't seen where XDC was or is. Let's check it out. It currently is at a $1.4 billion market cap with $41 million worth of volume. What are you doing here? Why are you jumping up on me? Here, come here. Let me get you. I got a cat. Hopefully she's nice and she doesn't. No, don't walk across the screen. Just stay right here. Either you stay right here or you get down, because you're gonna be hitting buttons and stuff, and I don't want that. So yeah, XTC sitting at a $1.4 billion market cap. Fully diluted value is $3 billion. So not the worst thing ever. I know a lot of people are very hyped about this play. I'm just a person that I should be getting involved in everything that really even surrounds XRP, just because I believe in XRP so much. But I haven't, right? I got into XLM one time, and that was early on before I even got into XRP, but then decided to consolidate because it was a lower amount that I did have. It was more of a challenge of what I was doing. It wasn't a lot of money that I spent. And maybe I should have. And maybe I still should. I feel like it's not. Sometimes what I feel like is, you know how, like, if I'm trying to think of a scenario or a comparison. It's like you're, in a way, it feels like you're taking away from the market share, but in reality, it's not. Most people that are invested in XRP are also invested into an XCC or an XLM. That's just, they believe in those type of projects, and maybe I should as well. I'm going to be honest, and I think it still is decent. Seeing it at a $1.4 billion market cap, you still have a lot of potential from where we are. And I think I don't think it's not at the highest price we've ever seen, which is great, meaning that it has a lot of room for growth. and where we stand. Uh, I still have my cat. She's on my lap. Um, PLI plugin from XTC Oracle for real world asset. Um, IOTA will melt faces. ADA to $25. That would be amazing, but that would also be a very high market cap from what I'm understanding. I think ADA at a $5 mark, you're over $100 billion. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you start to say like whether it can get to multiple hundreds of billions of dollars, and I think that ADA should be in the 200 to maybe $250 billion range, um, which I think could be closer to $10. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't checked it, and I don't have a free hand to go and search this up right now. Let's see. Let me go over here. Um, Algo, okay, most undervalued value layer ones. Hey, I got a question for you. Why don't you cover Lucky's LP anymore? The community is dying down because community isn't helping with promoting, and would like to know your thoughts. So I think right now you don't have one. The person that was creating it, he's from what I've seen and what I've talked to him about, he's a great guy. Obviously, trying to do is something that not everybody can do. Like he was funding Lucky's LP all by himself, and every little bit of money went into that, and it's tough to pay for marketing and pay for all of that stuff there. I still have it. I still believe in where it can go. It's just on whether we'll have the opportunity to get there. The issue with that is the fact that in order for you to have the amount of volume that he did have, you need to have that continued marketing, and you need to have the continued success in the market running. Right now, we see some altcoins that are making some moves, but it's still not technically altcoin season. Bitcoin is still running. Bitcoin is still holding some of these levels, and you're not seeing that trickle down effect at all. So without that, it really tells you, oh, it's not time for not lower quality, but lower level cryptocurrencies to run, to make moves, to have that marketing. And you have to, when you only have a certain amount of money, you have a small amount of time or a small window to do that, right? To pay for that marketing, to see it flourish, to see it pick up. Because I still believe in what it can do. It's at a very low price right now, and very, very low price, and we could see that pick up. I just hope that that's what we're looking for. That what we see is the pay for marketing, or the conversations that happen during altcoin season, because I will pick it back up then, especially with all the positions that I have. I have a lot of different positions, lower level positions, lower market cap positions, the ones that have seemingly died off that could be worth a lot more as we see trickle down into altcoins. Um, but that's my thought process. I'm not saying that I'm not for it, because I am. I like when you have good people that do good things, that are looking to have a project succeed. But like I've told my family who were like, hey, I should start a cryptocurrency. I'm like, you don't understand the money that has to go into that. You think that it's going to be all fine and dandy, and that because you have, you know, somebody that that has a YouTube channel that can talk about different cryptocurrencies, that is the reason why things would blow up. That's not why you want something to blow up. You don't want something to just blow up every time that one person talks about it, or people start to talk about it there. You want it to make moves while the conversation is happening elsewhere. While the um, while the markets are moving, you're also seeing people that are just going, "Oh, this moved before. Let me get into this." Right? That's the type of conversation you want to have, and that's what you want to see. So it's tough, um, but like I've said with everything else, patience is key. Patience. It's all about patience. Um, Thank you for going live this early in the morning. No problem. I try to do it this early because nobody's awake. in my house. So I try to go live for about 2 hours. I wish I can go for longer, but you know, the she really likes her chin scratched. Um, but yeah, I have to take the kids to school, so it's a lot tougher. I mean, they want to go on the bus, and if they go on the bus, it's a different story. But then again, I still have to wait for the bus. So we'll see. Maybe I'll put them on the bus today, and maybe I can keep this going. I don't want to stop the live stream and then restart a new live stream. That's the issue. I want to just continue the live stream that I have here. Uh, Matthew, where do you see XDC prices going near future? Um, for XDC, I would, since I haven't done a crazy amount of research, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, it's only going to go to this level, right? If I was looking for, any type of movement out of this, I would look for a 10 or 20x out of it. That's what I would say for things like an XLM. I think you have maybe a little bit less of that. However, depending on how far you see things like XRP run, there's a trickle down effect into um, XLM and XDC and others as well. So um, I would say I would push for a 10 to 20x if I was looking for it. And again, I don't have any, but I think I might want to. I think I might want to have some XDC and some XLM just in my possession. I don't know. Are they available on? I believe they're available on Coinbase, but are they available on Coinbase? They're not. XLM is, but XDC is only available on Kraken for me. All right, let me scroll up here. I only have one hand, and it's my left hand, which is not a hand I like to use for anything. Um, I've even put in some of my money and time to get it discussed. I really want it to go far. I think it can. It's all about timing. It really is because you can put in money, effort, time, conversation into anything, but if the market is just not moving and the money is not flowing into projects that are lower projects, it's not going to move. So it's timing. Timing is everything. Um, Updated thoughts on Luna Classic. Like I said yesterday, I believe in Terra Luna Classic. I'm still a big fan of where that's going. I'm currently making money on my Terra Luna Classic short term as well as the long term. Once we see Terra Luna Classic reach a level of 0.0006, if I can still have this leverage trade, it'll be massive in how much I can gain, right? Even up to a level even lower than that. I would love it to go a lot further and drop another zero because that would be amazing. But I have my long-term Terra Luna Classic and I have my short-term Terra Luna Classic. What's great is whatever I make from Terra Luna Classic at this moment is all considered long-term capital gains, right? So I'm only getting taxed about 20%, which is fantastic, especially on the amount that I'm going to be able to gain up to some of those levels. We're talking about a penny. We're talking about 10 cents and a dollar, right? Those levels would be insane, but in due time. Um, have you heard of Verge XVG? I have not. XVM? Haven't heard of that either. I might have. Actually, it sounds familiar. Um, and Vault XVM. I think, yeah, actually, I think I have heard of Vault XVM. I think I talked about it. I talk about a lot of positions, so sometimes I have to be reminded myself because I have well over 100 different cryptocurrencies in my possession. Some at a very, very low amount that I put in just for the potential chance of breakout, as well as the use case that could develop a lot further. Kraken and Gemini. That's where you can buy it. Is that what you're saying? XCC is on Uphold. Yeah, I moved everything that I had on Uphold besides BTC off of Uphold. My Caspa is over to Kraken, and I believe I had something else there. It might have been XRP, but that's over to Coinbase. Um, nice, just got exposure on eToro. More clickbait. The price is where it was about 3 weeks ago. So it's making moves. Different cryptocurrencies are making moves. Currently, XRP is at 310. BNB is now over $1,000 again. It is up by about 5%, 11% for the last 7 days. No clickbait, just conversation. XRP will go to $5. It will surpass $5, and that's where the conversation lies. It's not saying XRP is at $5. Read the title. Um, oh, actually, I wrote the title wrong. You're right. It's supposed to be XRP to $5, and then BNB reaches $1,000. I kind of combined the two, and XRP reached to $5. That's crazy. I didn't mean to say that. I apologize. And now I can't change it. I'll change it as soon as this cat gets off my lap. I said read the title, and then I read the title, and I was like, what? Okay, that's not what I meant to say. So yeah, I apologize. Um, I think you did talk about it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it sounds very familiar. I think I did talk about it and mention it in a video. Guys, we have 82 people that are here. If you could hit the like button, guess what? I would appreciate it. It does help out the channel, helps out growth. If you guys want to check out the link for BTCC and get involved in trading, leverage trading, feel free to do that. See if I can just pet with the left hand. So if I can pet with the left hand. Up, she doesn't like that. She's like, where is that other hand? What's up, cat? Her name's Olivia. We call her Liv. And then we got Spencer over there somewhere. Yo, Matt. How longest time? It's been the longest time. It's been a while. Yeah. I mean, for some people, it's been definitely a minute. Um, I don't post nearly as much as I used to, but I still put some videos out, still talk about some cryptocurrencies because honestly, I'm making a lot more money from the investing side of things. But I do still like to see the flow, the natural flow of what's coming from YouTube, as well as just having the conversation that we have on YouTube. I feel like that um, it does a lot. I just always feel like I'm behind on everything, especially like housework and stuff. Like I'm trying to keep the house clean and all that stuff, but it's so difficult. Kids, as the kids get older, they learn to clean themselves, but they don't really do the best of jobs. So it's like you can't just have a expectation of what you do, right? You just get them to clean, and if they progressively get better at it, just like if they're playing sports, they get better at it. Um, where are we standing? What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something, and I can't remember. I think I was gonna change the title. So yeah, I did change that. How are you making a lot of money, Matt? So on the leverage trading side, I'm definitely making a good amount of money, as well as different stock market investments that I've made, whether it was into Nvidia or it was into Tesla at the time, or definitely Coinbase. I was making a lot from Coinbase. Um, and some of the short-term trades that I would make. However, I do have
Angry Alex donated $2.79 through Super Chat. Bro, I am still surprised how much I am up on Jasmy.
I know it's crazy because you look at it and why is this coming up like that? You look at how much, oh, it logged me out. me log back in. It logged me out for some reason. Um, but yeah, it's insane. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. But yeah, it's insane because like I invested into it at 40% of a penny, right? I'm still up on Jasmy Coin by a lot, right? I have a million Jasmy Coin. I'm at 14 or 15 or whatever Jasmy Coin's at now, $16,000. And as it grows up, every penny that grows, I'm looking at a $10,000 gain. That's insane, right? That's amazing. And as it gets to a level of 50 cents, I'm at, you know, $500,000. That's insane to say that it gets to a level of 50 cents, which would only be a $25 billion market cap. I gain $500,000 from that. That is absolutely insane and amazing that you have that opportunity. And you wouldn't have that opportunity anywhere else. You wouldn't have that opportunity in the stock market. You would have the opportunity only in the crypto market right now because that is the breakout market that we all want to see. Um, but yeah, how I'm surprised as well. Well, I'm not surprised because I made the investment, but it's just always great to look at it and know that that's one that I can count on to be positive. It's not going to go back down to those levels. But some other ones, I may increase my cost basis, and it's a little bit more difficult to sustain those gains, and you have to be patient. So, like, if I look at my assets right now, and I don't want to show all of my assets, but if I look at my assets, Yearn Finance is down by $900, right? XRP is up by a significant amount. Um, Avalanche is up by a great amount as well. Jasmy Coin over 279%. You have an increase of 150% for Chronos, 60% for Solana, 177% for Cardano, 9 or 10% there, right? 40% down for Teller. I hope that makes a huge move. Honestly, I should continue to make more investments, but 40% down on that. 55% up for Swiftcoin, and that's not including the amount that I already took in profit. 46% up for Litecoin. There's so many things that are up by massive amounts. And we're not just talking percentages, we're talking about dollars, like a lot of dollars. But then I have some things that are still negative, and I think with patience, you're going to see all of those turn around. All of those make a complete 180. But like I said, some of my leverage trading plays, somebody asked me about how I'm making money. I make money in the crypto market, making a little bit short term trades, as well as some leverage trades that I have here. So, like, if you guys wanted to join BTCC, the link to this is in the chat. Um, and if you specifically use my link, you will get a 10% deposit bonus. Extra bonuses up to $10,055. 40% lower trading fees, and you could trade all the way up to a 500x leverage. The giveaway has already taken place, and the winners have been selected for this. But then you can also still receive, I believe, correct? You'll probably have to correct me if I'm wrong. $100 or 100 USDT in coupons received the next business day. But some of the plays that I made, some of the investments that I've been able to profit off of, currently, down 31% on API 3. Litecoin, I'm also down on that. I'm up on VET. I'm up on Algo. I'm up on HBAR, up significantly on OKB. 49% for Lunic, 60% for ADA, 30% down for auction, 17% down for comp, up 336% for CAS, 944% for AVAX. On a 10x leverage, we're talking about $879 on a $93 investment. That's phenomenal. So, like, those type of moves, you can make significant amounts of money from. Now, all of this is just staying in this account. So as I make money from it and I decide to take profit, it stays in here and I reinvest it into another play to make more money. Just to be able to grow this account to $100,000. That's kind of the goal. It's the mindset, and to show that you can do this, right? Patience could get you a larger outcome in your gains. I sold my initial amount at 4 cents. Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to find who said that. Oh yeah. Okay. So you sold your initial amount at 4 cents, so now you have nothing but gravy left in there. That's phenomenal. I applaud you. I'm happy that you were able to do that. Do you play around in the trenches in Solana? Sometimes. Like I have a lot of meme coins from Solana, some that have not failed but haven't really experienced the level of growth that we expected. But then some that have experienced a little bit more growth that have made up for the ones that have lost, which is great. But we're still in the thick of things, right? We're still not seeing that massive trickle down effect to not only the utility projects but also the ones that don't have utility, the meme coins that are all created there. So yeah, I play around in the trenches sometimes, but not all the time. I know there's a lot of projects that are created. Chronos isn't talked about enough. That's very true. I think it should be talked about a lot more. Um, no one mentions Bitcoin Cash. I mean, I've seen people mention it, but not a lot of people. Keep your butt down. Go ahead. If you're looking to get down, then get down. Go. um, what's going on any good news? Just woke up and got your notification. Um, Hi to everybody in the chat. Well, thank you, Jack, the wacko, for being here. Is there any good news that's happening right now? Let's look at the biggest crypto news since we have that. Um, Fed rate cut fueled a broad market rally, which I haven't talked about. Sometimes I would put what the rate cuts were, where the rates are, what the inflation rate is on Twitter. I just haven't done that. But the U.S. Federal Reserve announced a 25 basis point interest rate cut, which triggered a significant rally across broader crypto markets. I want to see what the stock market did as well, or is doing. Um, Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin pushed to $118,000 following the Fed's decision. Some analysts suggest a 2020 style market explosion may be coming. Market impact. The rate cut, which some consider a risk management move, has spurred optimism that could drive risk assets like Bitcoin higher. The SEC streamlines process for spot crypto ETFs. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved new generic listing standards for crypto exchange traded funds or products, which is expected to significantly expedite the approval process for new ETFs, which would be great for any of those new single ETFs. We would love to see more all-encompassing ETFs, but you know, in due time, right? Grayscale fund approval. As part of this new policy, the SEC approved a multi-crypto fund from Grayscale, which includes XRP, Solana, and Cardano. I don't know when that will be live and what they have that. I have to look more into that because I want to invest into the broader market. And that's something that will make me feel amazing about holding that for the long term. The issue is that I don't really have a place to hold it, right? It's not going into my dividend account because if it goes into my dividend account, then it has to pay me a dividend. And that's not paying me a dividend. It's just something that I'm holding for the gains itself. Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric predicts that this rule change could lead to over 100 new crypto ETFs being launched in the next year, which would be phenomenal, right? It creates, with more ETFs that are launched, it creates more stability. It creates more traditionalists that are investing into it and believing into it. And it just all around feels great, right? First US XRP and Dogecoin ETFs debut. Oh, I was going to say, what is she scratching? But she's scratching the scratcher post. Um, The first spot ETFs in the U.S. tracking XRP and Dogecoin launched on the um, BZX exchange. Products specific or specifics. The products created by Rex Shares and Osprey funds are designed to hold the cryptocurrencies directly and will trade under tickers XRPR and DOJE. Broader market access. This launch represents a significant broadening of regulated asset points for investors into the crypto market. CME Group adds options for XRP and Solana futures. So let's see. Let's go into something else. New deals emerge for Trump affiliated crypto deal. The New York Times investigation revealed new details about the deal involving the Trump family's crypto firm, um, World Liberty Financial, and the large crypto deal. Key connections. A report detailed the $2 billion crypto deal is connected in a separate agreement to sell valuable AI chips to United Arab Emirates. Uh, the the investigation further fueled ethical concerns surrounding the family's business dealings with the cryptocurrency or crypto industry. Crypto company news. Um, Crypto platform Bullish reported a net income of $108 million in the first quarterly report since its IPO. Beating analyst estimates, the company also recently secured a New York bit license. Kraken, which isn't that good because New York doesn't have many options to trade. Is that what we're dealing with there? The crypto exchange Kraken has seen a departure of a handful of senior executives. That's not a good sign. The stablecoin issuer Tether launched a US based stablecoin called USAT for US residents to boost its market presence. Um, do you feel like people don't hold USDT? I feel like as an American, I'm holding USDT. Maybe I shouldn't, and I should hold USAT. Hey Matt, have you heard about AKE, a new AI coin for gaming industry? I have not. I have not heard of it. Just hanging around waiting for a bull run to happen. So are we. We're all just in the same spot, waiting for the bull run to happen. Just do you think quant is a good value right now? Yeah. I mean, I have a quant investment right now that's not I don't think it's necessarily going the best, or I think I did have a quant investment. Oh, there we go. Wait, there it is. So I have a quant investment where I put $352 into there at a 3x leverage. So it's around a $1,000 I'm investing with. Not crazy, but I do believe that quant's at a good value at $100. I don't think it's at the best value because we've seen quant at 42, $43, meaning that we could have seen it double or even triple up to some of the levels that we've seen more recently. So um, I don't think it's at the best value that it could possibly be, but I still think there's a lot of potential above where it's at right now. So yeah, um, I see. Thanks. I appreciate it. Good to hear um, about time. We just need to wait and see what happens. Good luck to everyone holding. Yeah, good luck to you as well. Good luck to everybody that's deciding to get into investments. I was having a conversation with my brother about investing. And I think people tend to look at it like gambling. And while it does have that same mindset of gambling, anything could have that same outlook on it, right? You're believing in, let's say you invest with a business, you're believing in that business to succeed for 10 plus, 20 plus years, right? Because you're holding it for the long term. You invest into an ETF. A lot of investing is a way of gambling, right? Because you're You're taking a gamble on whatever somebody else's decisions are. If you decide to um, leave your job for some sort of side hustle or some sort of business that you created, that in itself is also a gamble. And it was we were having a conversation because there's people that will look at the investing or investing short term, investing long term, or even sports betting or whatever, and they'll go, um, this is my way of making money, and then they'll invest aggressively without any type of strategy, and they'll lose a bunch of money, and then they'll go, I need to cut this because I'm I feel as though I'm wasting a lot of my money. When in reality, you're just doing it the wrong way, right? You need to do it a little bit more conservative. You need to make sure that you protect yourself and you have those protections, just like in life. You have those protections. If you needed to pay bills, you would have the protection to know that, oh, okay, I'm going to, if something happens, I have this safety net, right? I have this rainy day fund that's set to pay my bills. However, I will try and succeed as best as possible so that I can pay my bills and make sure my family's in a good spot and all that stuff. Or you have a backup job. It's like I work this job to make sure that I can get this off the ground and running, and when it does, then we're we can kind of let that safety net go and create a new safety net. Um, and I think that's what I've done, right? When I look at my BTCC account right here, if you look at, there's one thing that's in common with all these. It's not the price and where it is. It's not the leverage that you have there. It's not the gains that we're seeing overall. It's the fact that every single one of my investments has a stop loss. Every single one has a stop loss. You're not going to see any profit taking levels because I haven't established a profit taking strategy there to do it all automatically. But the only thing I want automated is to know that if I reach a certain level, then it gets liquidated and I live to fight another day. Yes, I lose that money, but I live to fight another day. And I've seen the opposite side of that where I haven't lived to fight another day, where I've made it very difficult on myself and um, lost a ton of money, and that's something that I don't want to see happen. So I make sure that I set myself up for success um, by first developing a strategy in where I want to trade, how I want to trade, when I want to trade, right? And then being able to set a stop loss or that safety net to say, if I reach a certain level, I'm out completely, right? And I don't trade emotionally. I don't get aggressive. I don't go, oh, I need to make that money back, because eventually that money will come back as long as you stick to the strategy that you believe in. Now, if your strategy is um, horrible, meaning that you're investing all at high points, then you got to find a new strategy. And the best way to do that is to go over to BTCC, go over here, up here where it looks like a Nintendo Switch, right? You click that, which is demo trading, and then you develop your own strategy. The reason why I know that this will work for me is because of what I've done here. Right, a 4x leverage or a 3x leverage for Ethereum, I've been able to gain $6,000 of demo money. Right, this is all demo money. With $1,000 investment at that level, it's all about finding the lows and investing um, uh, not as aggressive, right? 3x leverage, but with a higher leverage means that if it drops 33% from that $1,500 level, then I lose everything. But the likelihood of it dropping another 30% was unlikely. And that's why I made the move where I made it, because I bought Ethereum. I made money from Ethereum. I took profit from Ethereum in my main account and then have reinvested that money into other plays that I've had. If I would have kept it there, I probably would have made more money than what I'm at now, because my P&L is at actually let me go back here because it says that I'm up $5,000 and that's my demo balance. Um, the reason why I'm at $5,000, because I'm at 5,900 or 5,700. The reason why I'm at this level is because I've been able to, reinvest the money, I've been able to make certain moves that have given me profit. And as we move along, I will continue to invest into other plays that I truly believe in. I wish I would have bought B&B over here. I don't know if it is available. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, B&B is available it's probably at a way higher leverage. I'm not going to buy it now because it's already at $1,000 price point. It says I can do a 20x, so I can do up to a 50x cross leverage. I believe I can do a isolated leverage. I'm pretty sure. You can't do an isolated leverage. It's only on certain plays. Isolated leverage is the best way to go, but if you're doing a cross leverage, make sure you set yourself with a stop loss. Hey, Meta. What's the weather today?
In Reading, Pennsylvania,
Oh, you
it's
pronounced it
currently
right.
cloudy at 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect sunny skies later with a high of 84 and a low of 56 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's good. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No. Um. Uh. I see. Thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, Matt. I wanted to do a Lucky's Leprechaun giveaway on my Twitter, but I don't have the audience for it. I funded. So would you be something interested? I would say in due time. I wouldn't do that now. I feel like a lot of things of what we're doing, um, you need to see that trickle down effect to other projects because right now you're not seeing that the lower end side is getting a lot of hype and a lot of attention, and I think there has to be a certain time for it. So I would, but not at this moment. I would kind of wait a little bit. Um, which planet is XRP $5? Which planet is XRP to $5? Are you throwing up over there? That's disgusting. You're disgusting, Daisy. And now I'm gonna have to go and clean that up as soon as I get off of here. That's just nasty. The life of having cats. They throw up hairballs everywhere. She's still doing it. It's disgusting. Um, I also hold a large amount of Jasmine. This token is a keeper, and have been adding still. So my cost average has gone up, but it is still around 60% of a penny. Well, that's great. I've been tempted multiple times. Like if this found a way to come down to lower than the 1 cent mark, I would get insanely tempted to buy another 1 million. But I don't want to buy another 1 million now because it'll raise my cost basis by half of the distance, basically. I still wouldn't be I still wouldn't be over a dollar or over a cent for a price, but still, it's like you don't want to raise your cost basis. You want to show that your cost basis is 40% of a penny that you invested early. Even though another million would be great because then I can do whatever I wanted with this million as we move forward and then keep a million for maybe a little bit of a longer term. Or, or I could just have double of what my plan is for my exit plan. So I've been tempted, but I just haven't done it. I kind of because I have a decent amount right now, right? I'm happy with my um, assets overall. When I look at the top assets that I have, and I look at XRP, I look at Urine Finance, I look at Jasmine Coin, I look at AVAX and where that has gone. I think there's so much potential there. There's what we can gain is going to be massive. Right? I wish that I'd been able to gather more AVAX. Like I could have gotten 100 or 1,000 of them, because 1,000 AVAX at $100, which it should easily get to, we're looking at $100,000 that I can have in AVAX alone. But I only have half of that, and I have 100 AVAX that's sitting in my forever wallet that I plan on keeping again forever. I think it's staked. Let me check. But guys, if you could, make sure you hit the like button. I think we're at 58 likes. I think it would be great if we can get to about where the concurrent viewers are, about 75 likes. I think it's a little bit below the like to view ratio because the current views are around 1,000 and the likes are around 58. So typically you look at about a 10%. I just increased the volume. I don't want to do that. My battery is 15%. What the? It's 6:22 in the morning. Charge it. What was I doing? I was gonna check my ledger. Why are you not into ZBET? I don't know. I just don't have it. Actually haven't made any newer investments lately. I've been tempted, but I haven't done so. Right? Um, I said I'm tempted to go all in on many plays, but I just haven't done it. I think the only play that I bought recently, I bought a newer play. Can't remember what it was. Um, I think it was on Coinbase. I know I bought Magic, and Magic is slightly up from where I invested, which is great. But I think it can go a lot further. I know I bought another play. I think it was on Kraken, which I'm not signed into, and it's gonna tell me to. Why did it sign me out? I don't understand why it even signs me out. Just keep me signed in. What is the password? That is wrong. Sign in over here. Just in case. You never know. Here we go. Now we use the Authenticator app. I don't know why it tells me to sign out. I just want to stay signed in and we'll be good. See if I can get this in before the timer runs out. Got it. For some reason I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I made a newer investment into Ren. So I feel like Ren is at a decent spot. Um, Especially, for where or what it was worth. And I'm just saying I think it could be worth a lot more and back to the all-time high as well as maybe even further than that. And if it does, right, where's Ren? Let me go to CoinMarketCap and we'll look at Ren overall. Like I think that this could be worth a lot more, and I know that there was some it's feeling the backlash of the whole FTX situation. I believe that was the case. But Ren currently sits at 0.008, right? 80% of a penny. This was once at a $1.20 price. I currently have 600,000 Ren. And I think it could get back to those points. I think it could get back to the $1 price point. It's a little bit of an issue because it saw that fall from FTX and the market crash or the bear market, and it never fully recovered or recovered at all. Right? We're not seeing the level of volume that we should see. We're only seeing 565,000. It doesn't have all the markets that were available, right? It's not available on Coinbase. It's only available on MEXC, on KuCoin, on Kraken, 42 different trading pairs, which could come back, but it's seeing a lot of that negativity, um, which looks like I know they're trying to make a little bit of a comeback and a little bit of a move. I'm kind of taking a chance, and if I lose out on that value, then I lose out on that value. But I want to see what what happens with that and how that's able to come back if it can. Right, this is just a risk that I'm taking, but it doesn't mean that it will 100% make that move. I tend to find a lot of success and a lot of positivity in failure, right? Not necessarily like I'm making money from someone failing, but as they fail, I see the recovery and I'm a part of that recovery a lot of times. And that's why, you're able to do a lot, right? Like say if you see somebody that's on the street that's on the street off of um, unfortunate circumstances, right? It's not just because they're choosing not to work or they want to make money from panhandling and they're making a lot of money there or something. It's because they just had unfortunate circumstances. Maybe they got into a situation where they lost their house or they lost their parents and they lost all will to move and all will to fight. And you have kids that are struggling and all that stuff. Like my situation growing up, knowing that I went through a bunch of unfortunate circumstances. And that's the reason why I was, homeless multiple times as a kid. Um, but if you help those people out, you end up seeing the positive outcome of that, and they end up experiencing things that they never experienced and getting that help that they need. Same thing goes here, right? You see the unfortunate circumstances, you see the fall, and it could potentially come back. There is a very, very strong chance that it might not. But I tend to see the positivity in a lot of these failures. So we'll see. We will see. Can we get a peek at your overall portfolio before I go to sleep? No, that's not gonna happen. Um, but I appreciate you. Just know that it has grown significantly, mainly because of XRP, um, and definitely because of some other plays as well. But I also have a separate portfolio that sits at about 20% of what that portfolio is, and I have that as a forever, uh, crypto portfolio. What's up with the glasses? You going full BitBoy? So I don't know who BitBoy is, but um, no, these are the Meta or yeah the Meta Oakleys, and I use them for AI when I need them. So if I need to know the weather or I need to know what a cryptocurrency is doing outside of checking what I can check on the screen, I can do that. Um, or if I wanted a price prediction, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but sometimes they give me a price prediction, sometimes it gives me a blanket statement like we can't predict any of that stuff and all that. So, um, uh, hey Meta, will XRP reach $5 this year?
Some predictions suggest XRP could reach $5 this year, with Elon Musk's AI model predicting a rise toward $3.75 to $5 due to institutional adoption and regulatory clarity. However, other predictions are more conservative, with some analysts expecting XRP to trade between $2.99 and $3.65 in 2025.
Um, what do you think XRP should be at by the end of the year if everything goes as planned? If everything goes as planned, like as in um, like major adoption. I mean, everything goes exactly as planned, and we, um, by the end of this year, I would think the max level that I would expect to see by the end of this year, if everything goes as planned, or everything I see as happening goes as planned, $25 would be amazing. That would be the highest level. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting by the end of this year $5 to $10. Right, that's what I'm looking for. Um, Based on some of the things happening, maybe not all of the things that we expect to happen, but that being those being the levels, the range that I think we're gonna see. But as you heard from the glasses, you know, a lot expect that we will see XRP at a level of $5 by the end of this year. Uh, some believing that we're going to see it around the $3 or $4 range, and others believing that it can get all the way up to $7. So um, that's not bad. Um, so will there be a portfolio update video in the future or not? So I I want to say yes, but some people influence me. I know there are people that have more in their portfolio than I have, like a lot more than I have. And I've seen their portfolios of multiple um, millions and even tens of millions of dollars. I've seen people that have talked about their overall crypto portfolio and having close to $100 million in their possession. People that didn't have even close to that before experiencing crypto and being a part of crypto, and maybe even having some insider information. Um, Not necessarily the top 25, but just to other plays that um, they saw pump. But I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way to feel like I come out here and talk about, oh, this is how much money I have. Like, it feels weird. Like, I'm not that type of person, right? When I get to a certain amount, if I can make a certain amount, I will tell you about that. I don't know if it will be a full crypto portfolio update. Um, but what I would like to do is, if I can make a certain amount of money, if I can make $100 million from cryptocurrency, there is no possible way that I am keeping $100 million, right? Um, at most, I'll have $10 million in my possession, and majority of that will probably be in a long-term dividend paying account, in many different dividends, and some will be in other accounts there, whether it's a 529 account or whatever, and how much I can contribute there. Um, but for the most part, I would be finding ways to help out others and donate to places that I really wanted to donate to, whether it's my former, college, whether it's my high school, or my daughter's school system. Like, I would just love to donate to charities and people that need it, and helping out people that are on the street, and finding ways to um, start monetizing that, so that I can continue to give to more and more people. I think what Mr. Beast does, and what some other people I see on TikTok do, it's just amazing to first find those people that are truly struggling, right? That's not just people that have um, given up on life and accepted living on the street. It's more about the people that really want the best thing for their child, the best thing for their family, but they cannot give them that. And it's so difficult for them to get there, right? It may be a barrier of looking decent or appropriate for an interview, finding the right job that works for you, um, getting on your feet so that you can have reliable transportation to some of those jobs, right? Because there's a lot of reasons to why someone wouldn't have work, and I've seen that firsthand with people that I know, for former friends, and current friends. Um, and I would love for all of them to succeed, but it's everybody's their own person, everybody's different, and I just want to find a way to help out people. So you'll know when you see a lot of those acts that happen. And I'll talk about how much I've been able to make, but I'm never a person to go, like this is how much money I made and I'm flaunting in front of anybody else. Like I don't want to do that. But I do want to give you guys updates on how you can make a little bit of money here and there, how you can better your life just with a little bit of education in the investment field and side of things. So, um, yeah, I have 20K in crypto. My dream is to reach 50K. Yeah, my dream was to reach um, multiple millions of dollars. And honestly, my initial dream to investing was to um, make, let's say, make a better life for my family, but also give me the freedom to actually be financially free. I can tell you how much I own. Do you still hold 200,000? I hold 211,000 XRP, yes, in my possession. So you can do the math if you want to on that alone. Um, but yeah, I still hold 200,000 and 10,000 of that is for forever. Like I plan on keeping that for however long you can think of. That's how long I plan on keeping it. If you're like, hey, 1,000 years, yep, holding 1,000 years. No, before we get to a point, this is something I always struggle with. Like if I feel like a lot of people don't understand cryptocurrency, and there's only a few people I know around me that understand cryptocurrency. Um, do we literally hold around about the same? That's fantastic, Eric, that you were able to gain or gather 200,000 cryptocurrency or 200,000 XRP. I know of some people that I no longer hear from because they don't need to be online or do anything anymore that hold 900,000 to a million plus XRP. And they told me one time throughout this entire process that they were insanely happy with the moves that they made, and they were happy that they were able to follow my channel for such a long time, and because of that they held on to their XRP because of the conviction that I had for this project. And I'm so happy to hear that. But it wasn't just me. I'm a second opinion, right? That second opinion means everything to a person. um, People will reach out and comment and go, should I still hold my XRP? And I'll go, it depends. Did you get anything out of it that you wanted, right? Did you get what you expected out of it? If you didn't, then your you holding it and believing in it, right, and being patient with it will give you a lot more, right? Some people, all they wanted was, $100,000, $200,000 to change their life and to pay off their debts and all that stuff. And that's fantastic. And they got that. And they're able to live at a level to where they feel like they're at a level playing field. Right? When you can get to a point where your net income, or not net income, but your what what words am I looking for? Your net worth, right, is positive. That's where you can go, all right, this feels fantastic. But then when you can get to that next level where all debts are paid off, and we're not talking about just the negative debts. We're talking about the positive debts. We're talking about things that are, you have credit cards, which are negative. You have loans, which can be negative. You have car loans, which can be negative. You have mortgage, which could be considered positive because it's value, it's appreciating value there. For a lot of other things, you may have a depreciating value within, like your cars. It drops in value um, once you buy it. Um, but for a house, it's a different story, right? You're seeing that value appreciate. You're seeing the cost or the value of it go up. And once you can pay that off and you have the full value of your house in your possession, that means that you are at a completely level playing field. It's like when you first started working in high school, right? You lived with, maybe your parents. Um, you had a car that could have been paid, the insurance could have been paid by your parents. For me, I didn't have a car. I walked everywhere. I took buses to work until I finally got a car, um, in college. And that got me to a point to where I always had debt on the table, right? Student loans, car loan, now a mortgage. And once you get to a point where you're not only at a break even for your or a positive for your net worth, but you also have enough to pay off all your debts if you wanted to at the moment. It makes you feel even freer, if that is a word, more free. So Eric, again, congrats that you have 200,000. Hopefully you have a full plan on what you plan to do for when you take profit, or how much you hold in the end, or how much you plan to stake, whatever, right? Hopefully you have a full exit plan. I'm hungry. Congrats, man. Thanks. Um, is a bull run going to into 2026? I believe so. I believe we'll see the bull run through 2025 into 2026, and then as we get into maybe May, just like we did in 2021, we may see that kind of pull back, depending on the things that we have, right? And depends also how far that pullback will be. Um, how far the pullback will be when you look at ETFs and you look at the amount of traditionalists that are investing into the market. I'm happy you deserve these streams. It calms me down for sure. Wait, you. I'm happy you do these streams. I thought you said deserve for some reason. Happy you do these streams. It calms me down for sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that feel the same way. Like once you get these, people that are talking about it, and honestly, not only just me, but also people in the chat. People in the chat that are saying, hey, this is what I hold, this is what I believe in, and the conversation continues to happen there. Or this is where I believe the price is going, and you have that second and third and fourth and fifth opinion that make you feel a little bit better about what you're doing. When I invest just by myself with no um, social media influence or people to talk to, I tend to I tend to get, like, I'll still make profit, but I don't make as much profit because I'll talk to myself and talk myself out of that investment. You know what I mean? So I'm like, for let's say BTCC, right? If I go over to this platform and I'm looking at some of these plays, if I was just talking to myself about this and not mentioning this to anybody else, I would go, yesterday I was like, I should take half my AVAX investment. I should take half of that. Well, I'm up so significantly. Right? I don't expect it to come back down in those points, and I expect it to do nothing but increase. Why shortchange my profit like that when I've already taken the profit? So I tend to talk myself out of things as I'm just looking at it myself, and I'm like, you know what? I should take it because I can reinvest it. But why? If you already have a play that's 10x, why would you reinvest it into another play that's a 3x, right? You may not experience the same level of growth that you can experience with AVAX that you do with BNB if I decide to invest there. So um, get that second opinion, get that third opinion. Uh, don't let it change your strategy completely, but it always does help and helps you, especially in the long term. Because if you're holding, let's say you've been holding XRP for 3 years or 4 years or something, um, it feels different when you're holding that long because you're maybe impatient for things to happen. Like I really want $5 to happen so I can take profit and actually sit on that profit and realize that profit. Now, I'm not saying all of it, but realize what I want to realize. Um, and for some others, they're also looking for the same thing. They're like, why can't it just get to the all-time high so I can sell what I want to sell? And it's understandable, but patience. It's all about patience. Dude, so you are a millionaire now just with crypto? It's crazy, Matt. Yeah, I've made a lot of money from cryptocurrency, and I'm so grateful to the opportunities that I've had, and I still have, and the ability to succeed and the ability to reinvest, because there have been many situations where I was like, many times where I was like, am I going to have to give up on cryptocurrency? Yeah, I think it was 2023 was the toughest year for me because, I worked my 9 to 5 and I made money with my 9 to 5, and I also made a lot of money on YouTube. So I kind of supplemented that income. 2022 was fantastic, the year after I left um, my 9 to 5. And then um, things got really rough in 2023 when we were at the not the lowest of the low for altcoin season, but we were at a low point, right? Views weren't really the best. We had a lot of the traction of Terra Luna Classic kind of die off, so all of the conversation was happening. It wasn't happening there, um, which means that a lot of the YouTube revenue that I was putting directly into the markets wasn't happening anymore. Um, and luckily, I think it was more of the management team that came on to, give me different sponsorships and help me out with, exchanges to be a part of, and commissions that are there, and all that stuff that really brought me to that next step. Because if I didn't have that, I don't know where I would be right now, because I needed to see the growth, I needed to see the movement, and I think also combining that with what Terra Luna Classic did at the end of 2023, um, that's what really pushed and propelled things forward. And I want to see that, continue. And I'm so grateful for everything that I've been able to get, because without that year happening, I wouldn't have experienced the true down times of crypto. Like, you saw the crash of 2021 got to the lowest possible points. Altcoins still continued to fall in 2022, but I still had a lot of hype and a lot of attention around Terra Luna Classic, so the conversation was still there. But then once that kind of died off a little bit, the conversation, that's where um, less views happened. It was just very difficult. Um, was definitely contemplating even going back to a 9 to 5 at that point, just to have guaranteed income over there, because this wasn't guaranteed, and it still isn't guaranteed. I almost got banned. Um, well, I got a strike, but I almost got banned from a video that I made because YouTube wanted to change their policy. So it was a little tough. It was a little tough, but now I'm at a spot to where I feel amazing in what I've been able to gain, and I hope that this can continue. Do you still work besides trading? No. The only thing I'm really working on is I make, various YouTube videos, whether it's related to credit cards, related to stocks, or related to crypto, or even some golf and basketball related stuff. But mainly, um, it's just YouTube videos that fund certain things, my dividend portfolio that fund certain things, my crypto investment portfolio and investments that are happening there that fund certain things, commissions from some of those portfolios as well, um, fund certain things, and then sponsorships as well. So I'm making a decent amount. While it was a lot more in 2024, um, in 2024, I can say that the amount that I made, it exceeds the amount that I hold now in cryptocurrency. Not maybe overall, but exceeds the amount that I had, um, that I have here. Meaning that I made in 1 year, which was phenomenal. Um, or let's say, you know what, it doesn't exceed the amount. It was damn near close. It was like high six figures I was able to make last year, which I was so happy to have happen after the year I had prior, which was, I can't say that I made a little bit, but it was just like from the change in lifestyle and budgeting and all that stuff. It sucked. In 2023, it really did suck to where we pulled um, Hayden out of daycare because we didn't want to pay that cost. Like that's how much I wanted to stay in crypto. I could have just taken everything out of crypto. I could have taken everything out or a lot out of, retirement accounts, which I would have been penalized for. But I could have done that and I could have easily survived and just put the money into, but I didn't want to have to pull from those things. Right. I want to make sure that that stays where it's supposed to be. So 2023 was definitely tough. Um, but 2024 and obviously 2025 have been absolutely amazing, and I cannot complain at all. Um, yeah, I can't complain at all. I'm very happy, and honestly, it's because of people that come back and watch the videos and even give me those second opinions sometimes, because sometimes I struggle with it where I'm like, what should I do here? And they give me that push to continue to do what I'm doing rather than just give up on it and go to a 9 to 5. Matt, do you own any Pokemon cards? I do, but not any of major value. Most of my card value is in WNBA cards. Um, I would like to move to NBA cards, but I feel like we don't have any long term great players that maybe you can say like Jokic. I feel like Jokic is not going to play for a long time. I feel like Jokic is just going to play for where he does this to pay for his family's lifestyle, and then once he gets to a certain point, I don't know what he does investment wise or anything, but I feel like there's certain people that are amazing now that are not going to play for as long as we would hope they play. Um, and but maybe like I would love to have a Luca rookie card, but I'm more into like sports than Pokemon. You skipped my question. What was the question? Do you think Sierra will hit all time high in November Thanksgiving Day, just like 2021? That would be amazing, but I don't have any expectations on a timeline of when Sierra is going to hit certain levels. I have more of an expectation on just the price in general. So I expect to see it at a level to break $1, to get to that $1.50 mark, to get to a $2 mark as well. I would love to see it by the end of the year. That would be fantastic. Um, but I'm not pushing for that to happen or to say that that will happen. Would love to see it, but no, I didn't. I don't have any expectations on that. I'm selling 10% at $5 and then 30% at $8 to $12. Okay, that's great. Then you have a plan. 10% of your 200,000. You're selling about 20,000 XRP. What is your cost basis at, Eric? And then holding the rest for next bull market. So you're looking to keep over 100,000 into the next bull market. I plan on um, taking a decent amount of profit during these levels. I don't know as to what's going to be the max level for this bull run. Um, but I plan on taking profit at certain levels and then being able to have enough money to reinvest if it goes low enough. If it doesn't, then I'll hold what I hold. Um, I can't remember exactly what it is, but um, yeah, I'll hold what I hold throughout it. If it does come down far enough, then I will reinvest at lower levels. Like say if it is at a $10 mark or a $12 mark, right? Um, and I decide to, take a decent amount of profit, right? Throughout that time. I would love to reinvest at a level of maybe if it comes down 50% from $10 back down to $5, I would love to reinvest at those levels. Um, I don't know if it will come down 50% though, right? That's my expectation for this bear market is to have less of an impact. And then the next bear market to have even less of an impact. Um, but we'll see. We will see. This is where my plan is, but also the plan is it depends on what happens in the markets because the market is so speculative and unknown. Do you still work besides trading? Um, oh, I answered that. No, I don't. The only thing I do is YouTube, which I consider difficult to gather whatever you want to talk about, to create videos, to take the time and effort to recording those videos, and then, creating the thumbnails and all that stuff. It may sound easy to a lot of people. I've had people that have been like, um, I'll say, oh, I have to get up early, or they'll say, I have to get up early, I have to go to bed or whatever. And I'm like, what? They're like, I need to actually go to work. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like I don't actually get up and go to work. Like I wake up earlier than you in order to get things done. Like the fact that I wake up so early. I start either live streaming or recording videos before anybody's awake. Then I get a chance to finally work out during the day because, I gave myself a little bit of wiggle room. I could work out early in the morning and then live stream later, but live streaming first is a lot easier than working out first. I can drop the kids off at school and then come back, work out right away, and then get into the flow of things, the swing of things. And but I still put in effort, a lot of effort during the day in order to not just perfect my craft, but just be on top of things in a way. I know lately I haven't been doing as much as I should have, but that also comes with trying to also do the household duties as well, which is difficult. I gotta be honest, especially with kids that continue to mess up as they get home. Once the kids get home from school, I'm down here maybe recording some videos or doing something or whatever. Um, I'll work on basketball with them, and then once they get into the house, that's when I don't see what's happening, and there's a lot of artwork and stuff everywhere. And I'm like, all right, well now you guys have to clean that up. But then they clean it up, and they don't do the best of jobs cleaning. So then I have to, kind of supplement their cleaning with my cleaning. It's it's tough, but I love it. I love it. Matt already living the dream. I mean, to an extent. I love that I have that financial freedom that I can spend a lot of time with the kids and work on basketball with them, work on swimming with them, making sure that they're getting the the time that they can get with their parents, right? The struggle that a lot of people have, that I'm noticing that they have, and what I've gone through with your kids is you work and spend so much time away from your kids. And good thing during the school year, like they go to school. So they go to school, you go to work. It's basically like you get home at the same time and you spend all that time that you can with your kids. During the summer, that's where it gets difficult because now the kid is home and they're either spending majority of their time by themselves or with a friend or whatever, and that's where you get those influences and the change of who they are when they can't be around you as much to see how you act and how much you respect people and all that stuff. I don't know. I feel like that's what I lacked because my parents always tried to work as much as they possibly could. So in times there, I was home either by myself or I was playing football with friends or something like that. So I'm glad I get to get this time to, uh, go through sports with them and see what they like, see what they're doing, see what they're building, and making that stronger connection. So I feel great. Do you guys invest in Pokemon cards? Pokemon is a massive bull run right now. So no, my brother, no, he doesn't. He used to invest in the Pokemon cards. I have a lot of Loricana cards. Um, I only have one rainbow. I want to say rainbow card. Yeah, I have one rainbow card there, which is I forget what they call them. That I pulled from a pack, and I was very excited when I pulled it. I was so excited because I had so many packs that I bought. I also have a full pack of first edition Loricana cards that are sitting in my in storage, and I don't plan on opening those. I hope that they get as popular as they should be, um, just like Pokemon did, and I'm gonna hold them for years. I hope decades, and then they you look back on it and go, these are first edition Loricana cards, and I hope that they have the same value as what Pokemon would be, but who really knows? So no, I don't invest into it. Actually, give me a second. Let me check. Let me bring up CoinMarketCap. Let me check to see if I have it because I don't really know. I thought I had it, but I also thought I might have opened it. But I know for sure I have first edition single packs. I just want to check if I have a first edition um, full pack. Give me a second. Yeah, I have a first edition full pack. I would love to have a first edition pack of Pokemon cards, but I know those are like I think $300,000, and it's also not a guarantee that you have one of those. Like I'm, give me a second. Let me check. First, I thought that would be the thing that comes up first. I spelled it wrong. Because where can you buy it from? Like you can like buy it from eBay, and I think a first edition booster box for Pokemon is $499,000, and it's not guaranteed. Like I know the seller is supposed like it's supposed to be guaranteed. It says new factory sealed. Like I wouldn't trust these with how many horrible situations that I've seen. Like it's not authenticated. Yeah. I mean, they have a 90, it's Gary's Pokemart that has 98.9% positive rating. But like I don't know, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't. Um anyways, I'm way behind. Um Great live stream, Matthew. Let's hope we all get financial freedom. Well, thank you for saying that, Gavin. I appreciate it. Pokemon have massive bull run right now. Wall Street said Pokemon went up 3,000% in 1 year. It's like crypto. That's fantastic. right? It's a market that has kind of untapped potential. It's freaking fantastic. Um, I love Pokemon cards. I saw on eBay on the old booster boxes, 100K USD. Pretty nuts. From what I see, it's $400,000 for a um, first edition. I guess maybe if you're looking at other editions, then you're looking at higher prices. Do you think XRP will run on Thursday when the XRP ETF is launched? I would hope so. The issue that we saw with Ethereum is we saw some inflows into it, but we didn't see the run because the markets weren't really healthy, and the action was completely different than what we saw with Bitcoin. Bitcoin absolutely skyrocketed to a whole nother level. So I hope that that's the case. But again, it's not something that I'm pushing for a time frame. Like I know it's going to hit a level of $5 and $10 and $20 and all of these levels, um, but in due time, right? If it happens because of something large like that, great, fantastic, and I'll be very happy. But I don't need it to run on Thursday. I don't need it to run on Friday. I don't need it to run next month. I want it to make moves based on what the market is doing for sure. So I need it to move if the market is moving, but I don't I don't want to set a time frame like that because what's the point, right? Is the point that you want to sell by Thursday, right? Because if that's the case, then you have that time frame. I don't really care if it does or it doesn't. Um, but know that that will be a major reason as to why it eventually does. We are following in 2017 cycles. Most altcoin peaks are in January 2018. We saw the last altcoin peak that was in uh, May, and then that complete fall in May, or it was like April to May, and then in the beginning of May things fell massively, and maybe, just maybe, it was because of um, the bear market was brought on to us a little bit sooner than what it should be. Because that seems a little very spread out from January to May. Like you see a lot of that movement that's there. I bought nearly um, all my XRP between 30 to 75 cent cost basis. Um, I think it was 70 cents. So your cost basis is insanely low. That's good. What is your cost basis? My cost basis is 122. $1.22 is my cost basis. My original one was 53 cents or 52 cents. And yeah, I ended up increasing that cost basis because I bought at a way higher level. Just to, and not necessarily um, bought it, but in ways had a lot of it that was transferred over to Coinbase. Um, I guess it would still be bought it because I transferred to from another cryptocurrency to that. So yeah, so it was around that higher price, and my cost basis is $1.22. Let me just make sure that that's the case. Let me go over to my my average is $1.22. Eric, you own Pokemon cards. Great time to sell your Pokemon, then reinvest crypto stocks and new Pokemon sets. Repeat the cycle. Definitely reinvest when I have a crash soon again. Yeah, that's exactly the mindset is to do it that way. Rate cuts, and we go up 11 cents. Oh, you're saying like, oh, rate cuts and we only went up 11 cents. Um, I think, yeah, I know what you mean. You want to see a lot more, but things will happen in due time. What's your favorite narrative heading into this bull market, this bull run? Um, I mean, I don't know. I like the so for me, I'm a big fan of all-encompassing ETFs. I'm a big fan of you know, top or blue chip crypto ETFs, right? I'm that type of person where I want to see consistency, but I don't think we're at a point to where we can see that consistency yet. Um, so establishing these ETFs early on and being a part of those ETFs early on, that will be a game changer for anybody who's involved with it because the crypto market in general, will run a massive amount, right? It's not just going to be looking at what you see 10% for S&P 500 or whatever. It's going to be massive, comparable to, um, you know, like tech stocks, the tech boom, and things running to massive levels there. We're talking about hundreds of percent, um, to see the market run from a 4 trillion to a $40 trillion market cap. Um, there's an XRP ETF, or you heard there's an XRP ETF. Um, yes. What do we do? Do we expect any insights about it? I mean, I don't expect any major things to happen. If it does, fantastic. I know there's a lot of things that can be priced in very quickly, but we're still only seeing $7 billion worth of volume, which is massive. But we want to see a little bit more than that. For a top three cryptocurrency, we should be seeing more than what Solana's moving, 10% or $10 billion. We should be seeing in the tens of billions of dollars worth of a range on average for XRP. So TCG player got Pokemon value of your cards. Okay. There's a guy on YouTube called Pogi Beer. He got an insane collection. That's amazing. Sports cards crush 90%. It hasn't recovered at all since people lost a lot of money on sports cars. Yeah, I know. There's people that are selling. I only really want to go for the the absolute game changers of the next 10 years, 20 years. And that's why I'm looking into WNBA because I feel like WNBA is definitely seeing a lot more of an uptick. And you're seeing people like Caitlin Clark, like an Angel Reese, like a Nafisa Collier. That's really their value of their cards are going up. The value of just who they are going up. And I hope that they get paid massively in the next couple of years. But you're seeing expansion teams like one that's coming to Philly, which I will support massively because it's, an hour away from me, an hour and 25 minutes away from me. So I will support them and go to different games. I'm not right around the corner or it's not right outside, but I would love to support them with maybe even season tickets because I have daughters that play basketball and would love them to continue to see um, some of these players play basketball. People say XRP reach $100 this bull run. People need to be realistic. $5 to $10 on XRP this bull run. I don't expect a crazy amount. If we do see it further than that, fantastic. But I do not expect a level of $100 to happen by the end of this year or even to happen this bull run. However, if all goes according to plan and we do end up seeing those levels, I won't fight it. For sure I won't fight it. So at this point, I have to get out of here. I have to let get my children ready for school and everything. I do appreciate all of you guys being here and being a part of the chat, being a part of the conversation, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on Kick, whether you're on X or whatever the platform is. I appreciate you guys for being here and taking the time out of your day to converse with me. But that's pretty much it. It's a good live stream today. Um, love the conversation. Love the movement in the markets. Currently, XRP is running a little bit. It's at $3.12, which is fantastic. And we want to see it go a lot further than where we are here today. But guys, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Hopefully, we see more of that movement into the stock market, which I haven't checked yet. I should probably check it. Let me see what my what the pre-market is doing. So, I mean, I'm up about $800, which is good. It's about 0.5% of worth of a gain. So I'll take that any day of the week. I'm still continuously investing into many different positions, whether it's FDVV or even T TDIV. I don't know what my overall value is of it. My equity. I have $600 in TVID or TDIV, and then a good $11,000 into FDVV, which is great. Finally getting into some tech heavy ETFs, which is fantastic. But, anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, if you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, that link is in the chat. It's also in the description. You can get a 10% deposit bonus, extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and you can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage if you want to. I will be doing an update on my account, which if you guys want an update really quick, I am at $5,800, versus where I was at yesterday, which is $4,900. So I'm up a significant amount, especially since the market has run, and it's been great. So feel free to check out the link for BTCC if you guys want to get started leverage trading.